Welcome to the Confetti Guide. You're about to kill way earlier than you should. Alright, let's get into some fun Harley Quinn facts. Editing costs money or skill, neither of which I have, so we are in a Google Slides I made in 20 minutes. Sure hope you have Subway Surfers in the background. Thank you to Brawlternative and Rickles for the thumbnail. They're both great content creators. I love Brawlternative videos and Rickles is a homie. So let's get into Confetti usage. You can kill them at 30 if they DI in, which your opponent should never do against Harley for anybody watching this to learn how to beat her. Killing them at 40 if they DI out and don't dodge. I will show you the route later. But it is, once again, something that is very dependent on them simply getting knowledge check. And if they aren't an idiot, which is most of your games, in tournament at least, online is a bit scuffed, but if they aren't an idiot, you can extend routes still, get better advantage, and you can occasionally still kill earlier like you can do on the worst players. Now let's get into how you should proc Confetti. You have a god tier 3 button list. How Confetti works is that after you're hit, it takes a certain amount of time to proc the actual explosion which knocks them up. But this is affected by hit stun, so the Confetti will proc closer to you if you use it on moves with more hit stun. I will show a bit more of that in game, but this is a very small explanation for now. This is your up air, your bomb, and your trap. All of these have very little hit stun, so they will be sent flying and can die at ridiculous percents if you're able to actually get a Confetti proc on any of these hits. The worst one of these is easily trap just by how hard it is to get a trap to actually work when you combo into it, and also the fact that trap can be ran through and things like that, and it just procs without hitting. But if possible, if trap hits anywhere above like half screen that procs Confetti, they can just die to it. Now your good buttons for proccing Confetti will be Sair on 3 out of 5 stacks, because this leads into a guaranteed combo. This is what I was talking about. You can extend your routes. You can do Sair and then follow the Confetti proc into another Sair. And not as good as like the rest of your moves. They are usable. In fact, if you're able to get like, let's say like slide or something, or you can jab them and, sorry, I just got a notification. You can jab them and get a proc on Confetti and then follow up. You could maybe do something, but it's a bit hard to get jabs in neutral or slide and some like up tilt. You can normally follow up on that, and it's gonna get a lot of the hit stun starts factoring into things with most of your moves. But there's actually a list of actively detrimental moves, which is your Nair, which is your air hammer, your neutral attack, so hammer on the ground, and your dare. These are actively detrimental because the uses of these moves go way worse with Confetti. Your Nair will send up, which you generally don't want in any position you're able to hit Nair. Your neutral attack will also send up, making it so that they live much longer than they normally do. And your dare will shoot them down slightly and then pop them back up. And Confetti doesn't have much hit stun on it, so it is possible that you dare them and you can be negative, and you can just get hit for it. Now, why glove control sucks in most matchups. Because you may say, wow, doesn't this seem like a noob killer? If it's really just killing bad players at 30 and 40 and then not doing as much in the other ones? Well, that's because all of Harley's other perks also kind of suck. You take glove control and you get anti-aired a billion times. I will say glove control against Morty though, and maybe Arya if you are able to not get jump up bead airwalkered, is actually pretty useful because Morty and Arya both have pretty bad aerial normals, so them actually trying to stuff you out is very hard. Morty will also, love spamming his grenades, his dirt, a bunch of good ground options, big ass jab, his blaster, to ground bounce into his kill route at like 70. He can't get any of those if you're in the air. So if you're able to have a glove control perk set up, I would exclusively use it against Morty. And if you are not confident that you can kill the Arya quick, then I would think about it against Arya. I hear a few people say it's maybe worth it against Superman or Shaggy, but those matchups suck no matter what. Alright, this PowerPoint blows. Let's go do some routing. First, let's show off the route that kills them if they DI in. That works because 1 out of 5 from the first one, 2 from your Sarah, 1 from up tilt, 1 from up air. Now, your opponent should never be DIing in against Harley Quinn. That is a general instant lose type of thing. But you can also kill and DI out, specifically if they get knowledge checked by this little route. I didn't do the up B high enough, so care for timing. Also, my first Sarah missed, which was not supposed to. Doesn't work on any amount of dodging after the confetti proc, but it will kill them if they get mind controlled by you not to dodge. So, for example, if somebody is not particularly well versed in the matchup, they might get a dodge read quite a few times and think, all right, let me start delaying my dodges, and then get hit by that. But once again, if people are wary to that little knowledge check, they probably won't die to it. And also if they're, big, super heavy, Superman, Iron Giant, Shaggy, the big heavy characters, they won't die just by the fact they won't get sent up very far. So let's get into actual practical uses in, high level gameplay and what you should be going for usually. So 1 confetti stack. If you need a positional advantage, you can do just your full Sarah combo, because the ground bounce after the Sarah 3. Because the Sarah combo in total is 3 hits, it'll ground bounce, and that'll be the 4th. And you always start with 1 because that's how you proc it. This gives a lot of positional advantage. You can turn this into, some sort of ledge guard situation. Maybe you want to send a Sarah or Nair, whatever you want to do. That is the first practical application I get. And something I get for 2 out of 3 stacks, which is a common one, is doing a B&B into jumping after with Sarah up B. Up air whiffs quite a bit, but it will reapply confetti, which is a very important thing to focus when routing, is you want to always try and reapply confetti. So let's say something like this. 3 out of 5. Once again, it missed, but if you are able to reapply confetti in your routes because you want to keep threatening them with confetti, keep pressuring them with it. Something scary also, like I showed in that intro. Let's get a confetti stack. Something like a very close Sarah. This is incredibly spacing dependent, but a very close Sarah into bomb attach can lead them to simply dying the next interaction, because that will be 3 out of 5 confetti, and you saw what happens at 3 out of 5 confetti. And let me pull this out after the route, just for demonstration purposes. You will struggle to do this in game also. But 3 out of 5 confetti, you get to use your god tier button to bomb after your up tilt, which already sent them up. That can kill even heavy characters around the 60 range. You can kill ridiculously early with a incredibly close Sarah, and then getting a read on if they dodge. Of course, you can just get pressed on, and it'll turn into their situation, but they will have to dodge the bomb after, so you shouldn't get punished too much, but it's still very risky to go for, and also very spacing dependent. But that is kind of it. Just key. Also, I can't particularly put this in God tier because of how it works, but if you're able to proc confetti with any ground bounces off stage, for example, getting an up B here will occasionally bounce them, let's say here, and then the game will bug and bounce them off here. It'll send them up, and then confetti will proc up here. You can kill them very early if they get ledge bugged, which is what I call that. You can kill them very early with a ledge bug into a confetti proc. It'll also, I believe, count as 3 because the up B first hit, it'll hit the side and the ground. Or it might count as 2 just because up B and the wall bounce, but either way, it'll bounce very high into a confetti proc, which can just kill them at higher percents if they are playing unsafe at the ledge. And that's a bit it for confetti. As long as you are aware of it, you are able to route off. So for example, let's get into 3 stacks. You get your neutral win, boom, another confetti situation. And then they're scared because they're at 4 out of 5 confetti. And even on your, worst buttons, like for example, your up B. Let's get a few confetti stacks on this bot. Even on your worst confetti buttons, it still puts them in a bit of a precarious situation, just because of how scary it is to be above Harley Quinn. You get into these shocking scenarios. Dare is also decent at 3 out of 5 because it'll send quite far up. But the reason Dare's in the bad move tier in the list is because offstage is when you can possibly just get turned into a losing situation. It also means that at 4 out of 5 off stage, you dare them and they bounce right back up. You're not getting your meteor at all. But that is kind of it for confetti stacks. And for anybody who cares, dash attack and just insta-procs it. Which you should be able to get a Sair or a Nair off of. Probably a bit DI dependent. That caught him in the dodge startup. So maybe you can go for this if they're looking a little high percent. Yeah, you can get a little. That's true. But also another part of dash attack is, as you see there, you don't have to hit all the parts of it. For example, if they DI in and you're able to get 3 hits up, guess what? Up air, they'll instantly die. That's kind of it for confetti. As long as you're aware of the fact it'll knock them up while you're riding, you should be able to follow it up. And if you are able to follow it up, try and fish for up air, bomb, or trap. Because they will die. Also, yeah, if you want to get an up tilt follow up with trap and they're not exactly at that 3 out of 5, you can get a few jabs in. It's not harmful. You can do it. Goodbye.